Mock draft season is here, and with that, we bring back our mock draft reactions, where I get to stand here and I either get to applaud or ridicule the mock drafts that have been put together by the so-called experts. Today, we examine the newest mock draft from CBS Sports. We'll get to it in a matter of moments. But first, if you want your team to make the right pick, it's not too early to be thinking about April and who your team could be selecting. If you want your team to make the right selection, go ahead and hit the like button on today's video. Don't jinx it, so then when we go to April and your team makes a bad pick, it's your fault because you didn't like today's video. Don't be that guy. Don't jinx it. Let's hope your team makes the right pick, and we'll get started with today's show. The first pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, according to CBS Sports, no shock, Caleb Williams out of USC, and barring something absurd happening, he will be the number one pick, no matter who holds on to said pick. That pick from the Texans, by the way, from that Will Anderson trade last year. That puts the Cardinals picking back-to-back with the number 2 overall pick, taking Marvin Harrison Jr. out of the Ohio State. Williams and Harrison Jr. pairing up for what would be a lethal combination for years to come. Then we go to the number 3 pick. This is courtesy of the Carolina Panthers of the trade last year, where the Bears traded down from number 1 overall. And they get their quarterback, a replacement for Justin Fields, Drake Maye, out of North Carolina with this pick. So what about the Bears moving on from Fields and going this direction to Drake Maye? Josh Edwards at CBS Sports weighs in, said this: I do not think Chicago has done anything to give Justin Fields confidence, but he is certainly not playing like a quarterback with confidence right now. He's been missing open receivers, and the Bears' new regime did not draft him. And that's a very fair point when you're talking about him. I mean, this is a quarterback. You look at the situation. Think about this. If the Bears were to go to this route of, moving on from Justin Fields and going to Drake Maye, you would all of a sudden be going to a quarterback from North Carolina who wears the number 10. I'm not saying that he would be all of a sudden be Mitch Trubisky, but it would give some weird feelings if that was the case. But I think once you look past that and everything here, we can sit here and say to ourselves, hey, look, Drake Maye is different than Mitch Trubisky. I think Drake Maye's got an incredibly bright future in the National Football League, and the Bears would get a great quarterback if Drake Maye were going to be their guy. Then the Bears on the clock again with their own pick. They go with Olu, the offensive tackle from Penn State, who's rated as the top tackle in this year's draft. And then at number 5, the Colts go with the edge position as they find Florida State's Jared Verse with that selection. So we're 5 picks in. The big one is the change with the Chicago Bears, replacing Justin Fields with that number 3 overall pick. What do you think? Will the Bears draft Justin Fields' replacement at quarterback this year, or are they going to hang on to Justin Fields? It's our pinned comment today. Y for yes, in for no. Tell me what you think. Do the Bears move on from Fields or not? Weigh in and tell us what you believe is going to happen. Moving on now, number 6, the Giants go receiver, get help that spot with Malik Nabers from LSU. Number 7, the Raiders go quarterback, and they go with Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy, who, I'll be honest, I got concerns about J.J. McCarthy's arm strength to make the downfield passing throws you need in the National Football League. I'd be shocked if he goes number 7 overall, but that feels like very much like a Raiders pick. 8, the Commanders go tight end Brock Bowers, the best tight end prospect we've seen in years. He's been a star at Georgia for the last couple of seasons. 9, the Rams go offensive tackle out of Georgia, Amarius Mims with this selection. And then 10, the Vikings go quarterback. Kirk Cousins' replacement is found, and it is Shedur Sanders, the quarterback from Colorado, son of Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. I got to tell you, this one caught me off guard. Josh Edwards explains. Year 3 of wondering whether or not is the year Minnesota moves on from Kirk Cousins. This year, more than any other, it feels as though a change is likely. Shedur Sanders has shown that he can elevate his team in big moments which is exactly what the Vikings have been looking for. Now, Shedur Sanders, there's a couple things here. Small sample size. We've only seen him play 3 games at the FBS level, and we're already seeing him being projected to be a top 10 pick. Not saying he can't be, but it feels awfully early to already be making that declaration. And then the other thing, with NIL, I mean, he's banking there, right? He and Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter's not eligible yet. They're buddies. I don't know if he wants to leave him. And not to mention his dad being there. Even if he's projected to be a top 10 pick, I'm not sure that it's a foregone conclusion that he declares for the draft. I very well could see Shedur Sanders coming back to Boulder for one more year, one more go-round of sorts. What are the chances Shedur Sanders declares for the NFL draft? Scale for me 1 through 10. What do you think are the odds it happens that ultimately he goes pro or not? Weigh in and tell us what you think. The best name in this year's draft, Kool-Aid McKinstry, the corner from Alabama, goes to Denver at number 11. At 12, the Bucs go with offensive tackle, the teammate of McKinstry, J.C. Latham, out of Alabama. Then at 13, another offensive tackle off the board, this time to New England as they go Joe Alt from Notre Dame. 14, the Titans go with Dallas Turner, the edge rusher from Alabama. 3 Bama players selected in the last 4 picks. And then at 15, the Jets, they wind up with a corner, that being Nate Wiggins from the University of Clemson at number 15 overall. So we're just a little bit less than halfway through the picks so far. We'll get to the next half of the picks in a moment, but first, today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time, one of our newest partners here at Chat Sports, is the place to go to get tickets to sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, and much more. Here's how it works, folks. You download Game Time, create an account, and use the promo code NFL Chat. You're going to get $20 off. A while back, decided to go to a baseball game at the very last minute. So what did I do? I hopped on Game Time, and I saw all the prices listed, was able to find the seat I wanted pretty quick, got to see what the seat looked like, and then within a matter of moments, I was paying with Venmo. Pretty cool, huh? And you can do the same, too. You can have your tickets within a matter of moments and get $20 off. Free money, right? All you got to do, create an account, download, use the promo code NFL Chat, and you're getting $20 off. Sign up, download today. Terms and conditions do apply. Download Game Time, $20 off. Promo code NFL Chat. Create an account and sign up today and get your tickets to the best events around for the lowest price. Guaranteed. As we continue now, we shift to number 16 and the Green Bay Packers. Cameron Kitchens, safety out of Miami, ends up with Green Bay. Number 17, the Steelers, going with Kinsley Suamataia. Probably got that wrong, but he's a pretty decent offensive tackle from BYU. At 18, the Seahawks go quarterback. The eventual replacement for Geno Smith, potentially, Riley Leonard out of Duke. Riley Leonard put himself on the national stage with a big-time win a couple of weeks ago when Duke upset Clemson. And he played very well in that game. And Mel Kiper has him as the number 3 quarterback in this year's draft. So what about him coming to Seattle in the circumstance with Geno Smith? Josh Edwards of CBS Sports writes, Geno Smith turns 33 years old next month. Perhaps he is an option for the next few years, but the idea of a quarterback playing at a high level into their late 30s, early 40s is a myth unless that player's name is Tom Brady. The depth in this QB class allows them to land a player like Riley Leonard. That's fascinating, the idea potentially of Riley Leonard coming to Seattle. I mean, you look at that Seahawks team, and they are building for their future. And Geno Smith, his contract is kind of a year-to-year setup of sorts. And essentially what you could have with Leonard is he could sit behind Geno Smith, learn from him, and then take over potentially the year following after that. And I know that there's pressure on these quarterbacks to play right away. We saw it with Trevor Lawrence and most recently with Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and all that. But the recipe for success in the National Football League is still to sit your quarterback, let him learn how the NFL system works, and then they go out there and succeed. Patrick Mahomes went through it. Jordan Love's going through it now, and it's paid off for both those guys. So something to keep in mind for Seattle potentially. At 19, the Atlanta Falcons. They go receiver with Emeka Igbuka from Ohio State. Not quite as good as Marvin Harrison Jr., but a very good receiver in his own right. 20, the Chargers go with Jerzon Newton, defensive lineman from Illinois, with the selection, who is quite the playmaker himself. We've already named a couple of quarterbacks, quite a bit of quarterbacks after Riley Leonard. I'm setting the over-under at 4 for the first round. Granted, it's the best quarterback class in a long time. Do we have more than 4 quarterbacks selected in the first round? If you think we will, type O for over. If not, type U for under. How many quarterbacks get picked in the first round? Weigh in, tell us what you think. O for over, U for under. And we continue. 21, the Saints pick another Buckeye. This time it is JT Tuimoloau, the edge rusher from Ohio State. 22, the Texans with the Browns pick. Take an edge rusher as well, this time from UCLA, Lalitua Latu with the selection. 23, the Jags go defensive line, Mason Smith from LSU. 24, the Lions go corner, Kalen King out of Penn State. And then 25, the Bengals. I'd be surprised if the Bengals are picking 25. That means they turn things around from an 0-2 start. They go with Zach Zinter, the offensive lineman from Michigan. Then at 26, the Miami Dolphins, they go receiver. Another receiver? Tyreek Hill and Waddle there? Yes, they do. Keon Coleman, wideout from Florida State, stays in the Sunshine State. 27, the Ravens, they go corner, a white corner at that. Cooper DeJean from Iowa with this selection. That'd be pretty noteworthy. 28, the Cowboys, they get help on the offensive line. More protection for Dak as they go with Jordan Morgan, offensive lineman from Arizona. 29, the Bills. They go defensive line at Miami, Leonard Taylor III. And then, to wrap up the final 3 selections, the Eagles go with the best name in this draft, especially for his position. Chop Robinson, edge rusher from Penn State at 30. 31, the Chiefs go with the defensive lineman from Texas A&M, McKinley Jackson. And then the final pick of the draft, 49ers, absolute steal. They get Xavier Worthy, the wide receiver from Texas. How on earth did Xavier Worthy fall this far and still available at this point? Well, more from Josh Edwards. San Francisco's done a fantastic job assembling skill talent, but Bills are coming. If they can sign Brandon Ayuk to a lucrative contract, then it might cost them George Kittle or Deebo Samuel. Somebody's got to go, and then you see Xavier Worthy essentially line up as the replacement for one of those guys. I think Worthy's way too low. I think he might be the second best receiver in this draft, only behind Marvin Harrison Jr. I would be shocked if he falls to 32. If the Niners are picking him at 32, they're jumping up and down for joy because that would just be shocking if that happened. This mock draft had some weird stuff to it. Not going to lie, Xavier Worthy I thought was too low. Shedur Sanders, I think that's very early to already be calling him a top 10 pick. What do you think? Grade it for me. My grade, I'm going with C+. I think that's fair. Put a grade on it, A, B, C, D, or F, and let us know in the comments section what your grade is for CBS Sports' mock draft. Be sure to hit the like button on today's video. Get some good vibes going for your team to make sure they draft well coming up this April. And we will see you next time right here on NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Thanks for joining.